For generations, the brutal despot known as Mongul has ruled his realm of galactic gladiators known as Warworld with an iron fist. With his eye on conquering and enslaving innocent lives throughout the cosmos and his unhidden desire to add the Man of Steel to the ranks of his fighters, Mongul has clashed with Superman and the heroes of the Justice League often over the years. And yet, he's never been fully deposed. Each time he's been taken down, another Mongul has risen in his place, crueler than the one before. For the poor souls fighting for their lives on Warworld, freedom has been a distant dream, with the only hope of ending their turmoil arriving at the end of a sword or axe. In the eyes of Earth's heroes, it's as if Mongul ceased to be a problem once he left our orbit. Out of sight, out of mind. It's a shocking, almost unbelievable truth. It's at odds with everything Superman says he believes. And it ends now. Philip Kennedy Johnson and Daniel Sampier's Action Comics number 1036 kicks off the Warworld saga, one of the biggest, most impactful Superman storylines in nearly 30 years. The Man of Steel has left Earth, promoted his son John in his place, recruited a surprising new team that isn't afraid to get their hands dirty, and embarked on a mission to liberate Warworld and depose Mongul once and for all. It'll likely be his biggest, most challenging battle since he first crossed fists with Doomsday, and it's one that the future visiting John has warned he won't survive. It's just Ben Reilly's second outing since his return and his Beyond Corporation-sponsored tenure as Spider-Man, and according to the publisher, the Spidey-Morbius face-off does not go well for Ben, and he gets the hurt put on him in a big way. In Marvel comic books, Dr. Michael Morbius is a Greek biologist and biochemist who suffers from a rare blood disorder. While traveling to New York, Morbius attempted to find a cure for his lifelong illness, which, at that stage, was actually killing him. Morbius experimented with a radical treatment involving vampire bat DNA and electroshock therapy. Instead, Morbius became afflicted with a far worse disease that resembled the bloodlust of supernatural vampirism. The reason Morbius' powers are science-based and not supernatural is that the Comics Code Authority had a rule stating that supernatural characters that had a demonic nature weren't allowed to be published. Since his creation in 1971, Morbius has tiptoed the line between villain and anti-hero, and some would like another classic Spider-Man villain, the Lizard, goes through cycles of keeping his affliction under control and not. Official description for Amazing Spider-Man number 78. Ben Reilly's second real outing as Spider-Man pits him against Morbius, and it does not go well. The full support of Beyond gets tested as Morbius puts the hurt on Spidey in a big way. Written by Mariko Tamaki and Matthew Rosenberg and drawn by David Lapham, Detective Comics 2021 Annual Number 1 explores the first violent crime that a young Bruce Wayne witnessed. On an otherwise uneventful day, the Wayne family find themselves caught in the middle of an act of random violence. Though Bruce escapes without any physical scars, the emotional weight of the event will be part of the foundation for Shadows of the Bat, a 12-part storyline unfolding in Detective Comics. Originally announced in September, Shadows of the Bat will be written by Tamaki and drawn by Yvonne Reese, Danny Mickey, Max Raynor, Aman K. Nawelpan, and Jordi Belair. In the wake of the destruction of Arkham Asylum, Gotham City moves forward with plans to construct Arkham Tower. But before Shadows of the Bat begins in earnest, Detective Comics 2021 Annual Number 1 shows Batman and Nightwing butting heads on whether the tower is the right way for the city to rebuild. Official description: Detective Comics 2021 Annual Number 1. We don't choose who we save, Bruce. You treat the patient who needs your help. Thomas Wayne. Shadows of the Bat begins here. In the prelude to January's epic new Detective Comics event, Mayor Nakano has signed off on the construction of a new Arkham Tower in the heart of Gotham City, and the Bat family is torn. Batman has long seen Arkham as a necessary, if flawed, cog in the gears of Gotham City, a temporary solution to larger problems that in many ways mirrors his approach as Batman. Nightwing, however, who grew up watching Arkham mutate into a villain factory, believes a different approach is needed. But Bruce and Dick will need to see eye to eye on more than just Arkham Tower, as a new villain known as the Meager Man wreaks havoc in the streets and becomes the embodiment of Gotham's broken system. On December 15, Jason Aaron and Mahmoud Ashura return to the saga of Conan in an all-new adventure that takes the story of the Cimmerian further than has ever been revealed in any media to date. As Robert E. Howard posited, when King Conan grows restless on the throne, he sails west, toward land and adventure unknown. Now see the first step of King Conan's fateful journey from Aquilonia, as an old and terrible danger threatens to end the saga of the Cimmerian once and for all in King Conan No. 1. Written by Aaron with art by Ashura and colors by Matt Wilson, King Conan No. 1 arrives with the might of the Cimmerian's hallowed history behind it. Well, first off, with any Conan story I'm always trying to pay honor and reverence to Robert E. Howard, Aaron told Sci-Fi Wire. The life and death of Conan arc that I wrote for the kick-off of Conan the Barbarian was in every way meant as a tribute to the way Howard charted Conan's epic life. So even though we're charting some new territory with this King Conan story, I'm still trying to work in accordance with Howard's notes and thoughts on the later years of Conan's reign and life. This is the story of a Conan who has grown restless, as a king, as a natural-born adventurer and as a father. I'm definitely looking to weave together all three of those roles into one epic saga, a tale that takes us from the throne of Aquilonia to an island of vultures and dark magic at the very edge of the known world.